Hi, David Bizard here, and you are watching PowerTec 10. This edition of PowerTec 10 is one of my promised every third video catch-up deals, right? And so let me tell you where I've got to this month so far, and you'll know what to expect in the near future. First, my build on Sean's 350, installing the cam and timing in with that double timing wheel that some people have guessed how it works, has got stalled. My brain fog here. I forgot that there were more than one type of bottom timing gear, and I'm using a True Roller Comp Cam's adjustable timing chain at the top, but I didn't have the right gear for the bottom. So please note there's two types. If you get one of these fancy True Roller gears, you're going to need a True Roller bottom gear. So I'm waiting for that to come in. I've ordered that and a backup load of keyways because I found I was down to the last one. So that's in progress. I'm hoping that the gear comes in tomorrow, maybe the next day at the most, so I can get on with that. It's all set up studio wise to do. Next thing on the list is I'm looking into what I'm going to do for what it will be part 3 of the combustion and spark video that I'm doing, and that's currently part done. I'm sure some of my subscribers are also posters on the forum that I'm on, Speed Talk. If so, I'd like to know, can you just put a comment in below? I'd like to know how many are watching that. But one of the subjects I'm going to take up here, well, in fact, I think I'll split it into two, concerns a couple of guys who just insist on arguing in spite of the obvious fact they're wrong, right? So I thought rather than use up valuable time just typing out a comment in response, I'd do a YouTube video. The first one's aimed at John, can't remember his last name. I'm not being disrespectful here, John. I do have brain fade from time to time from my brain surgery. But anyway, I got into a pretty fierce debate with John after I did an article about Harvey Crane and Sig Urson. I was good friends with both of them. I often stayed at Harvey's place when I was on my way down to Daytona, and also Sig Urson, when he came to the times he came to visit me in England, if there was a race on during his visit, he would come and crew for me. Incidentally, those people who knew Sig, you'll probably understand this, but he was very popular with the other guys at the track, even though his fame is mostly in the US. As soon as people heard that I'd got Sig Urson on my crew, they'd come around and talk to him, shake his hand and all that, and can't say I blame him. He was a super guy, right? As was Harvey Crane. By the way, that stiff, stern, bluff, outward look of Harvey or character of Harvey, it was all bluff, right? Harvey was a pussycat, right? When you got to know him personally, he was one of the most thoughtful, interesting, concerned. Well, let's say he was a good friend to me, a very good friend, right? His loss I took very personally, right? I'd known him for 43 years, but that's beside the point. The argument was, which is most important, cam profile or cam event timing? Is it what would produce the best results? A cam with a not very advanced profile design, but with the right opening and closing points, or a cam with an absolutely near perfectly dynamically sound profile, but not so accurate on the timing. Which one would make the most power? Well, after giving the readers of the Speed Talk forum the story behind this, John comes up with the fact that might have been true 30, 40, 50 years ago, but now with modern profile designs, no, the profile design is more important than the timing. Well, I gotta say, John, that's total BS, and I can design the absolute most optimum lobe in less than 2 minutes flat, right? And its power production capability will be abysmal. So I'm going to show which of those is which, and with all dyno reports and things like this. I was going to do my 3-arc cam. That's about as simple a cam as you can get. And by the way, when Cosworth first introduced the DFV Formula 1 engine, it had 3-arc cams, right? And installing a polynomial cam was not the huge power increase that John might give you the impression that it would be. Anyway, the other thing is there's and this guy I can't remember as well, but something 331, right? And he's always on about my so-called port energy being just doesn't exist, right? Now, the guy's I get the impression he's a pretty good porter, but he's not doing a very good job here of understanding what's going on. So I'm going to take him to task on this and show how port energy counts for an incredible amount of the possible power generation from cylinder head porting. Next deal on the list. Now let me see what else is going on. Oh, Dave McLean has got the block just about finished machined for our cocktail engine, and we're going to be doing a video on bore finishes. Now, this is not the same old stuff, because I'm about to contradict 99% of what you may have heard before, but that's what I do, find holes in what's being done and try and improve on it. Well, big improvements here, so we'll cover that. Also, I've got a 396 build, and here's something else that could be very interesting. If you're aware of the significance of these two numbers, 1.075 to 1.040, your 350 rebuild can be significantly better, right? You just have to know the significance of those two numbers. We'll get to that. Probably around about, I don't know, January, February of this year, I did a video on how to win races by slowing down the opposition from misinformation, right? Well, there were some people who got kind of upset about that and actually labeled it as bad as cheating. Well, look, I've already said I don't cheat at motor racing. I don't need to. I can win without that. And I can even let cars that I know are cheating carry on, and I'll still obliterate them on the track, right? Like that year of Avenger I was racing, I knew my two prime competitors were both cheating. I didn't care. By the end of the year, I could typically put 200 yards a lap on them, right? That's, why worry about what they're doing? But anyway, the thing was, this was about, it was all about misleading the competition with information which was not valid, but looked like it was an absolute dead certainty to make more horsepower. Well, actually, I knew it was a dead certainty to make less, but somebody hadn't done their homework. So they took up this modification, which was condoned by the RAC. They made me do a drawing of the change that was necessary, and they published it in the RAC racing newsletter, so that anyone wanted to do it. It was now legal, etc. So if you want to find the background story of that, go to that combustion chamber one, and it'll show you how to cheat without cheating, right? Anyway, the thing is that was one of my simple mods. I mean, I don't know if I told you, but I also sold one of my chief competitors, Alan Minshaw, an illegal roll bar, right, which made the car handle better, but actually made it slower around the track. And after he qualified a little slower than he expected, I said to him, when he mentioned it, I said, "Oh, barometer's down today," right? And because he didn't have a barometer, he never checked it, right? But I'm estimating he was probably in the region of 1/2 to 3/4 of a second slower with this cheating roll bar, which we charged him good money for. And and of course, here's the other thing: if he beat me, I could protest him. I got an illegal roll bar, right? I was using the stock one, but I had it set up a certain way by means of the adjusting nuts that adjusted the clamping force on the tie rods from the body to the ends of the roll bar. But anyway, my point here is that I also had a method which was totally legal, where I could, in all intents and purposes, switch off the guy's engine behind me. And I tell you, I don't know how many tech inspectors looked at that, never put two and two together. And here's the thing, it wasn't cheating. It was just being incredibly devious. And maybe I should tell about that, because I don't think there's more than about 5 people in the whole world knew how I did that, right? I only used it once, and it didn't make any difference to the results on paper, but it allowed me to say, you know what, in that Brands Hatch race, I beat even the Opel Asconas, and they're 3.4 litres against my, and it's a factory team, against my 1600cc home-built Avenger, right? So I might talk about that. Well, here's one I've got coming up. It's a cheap mod, and if I've got time to do this, it won't take me very long to put out something that's meaningful. And it's about cool cans and fuel temperature, right? A cool can's one of those things that most people say or expect will work. Boom, just like that. Especially if they're in a hot climate. Well, you know, guys, it's not that easy. 9 out of 10 people don't go any faster, although the cool can works exactly as it's supposed to. I'll tell you why when we come to that. Anyway, that's enough of the updates for now, so let's get back to our regular program. I'm hoping the gear will arrive in for Sean's 350, and I'll show how that all goes together in terms of timing the cam in with that double wheel, this one. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, notify, and hit that St. Jude's dollar thanks button that's just on the lower right of your screen. Thank you for watching.